Ich sitze hier tatsächlich mit einer Rocklegende. Und zwar in den 80er Jahren haben sich New Model Army gegründet und bei mir ist jetzt der Sänger Justin Sullivan. Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello, a rock-legende.
Yes, you're a rock legend, 37 years.
Okay.
You agree?
Not really, but well, I don't know.
What would you call yourself?
Justin.
All right. Okay. Hey, I'm just sitting here with Justin, and we just have a little chat. All right. But you're back in Germany. You toured now for so long. Is it good to be in Germany? What is it?
Yeah, Germany has always been good for us. Actually, I think I always say the same thing actually, which is I see sort of three reasons for that. One is that there's a fantastic network of clubs. That every medium-sized town has a club where people play live, and Germans love live music. So there is this network, probably better than any other country in the world actually. Some of them are a bit under threat now, which is a shame. Partly I think it's that you don't have a centralised media. So there isn't four people that meet in a bar in Berlin who decide what the country's going to like. Yeah. This kind of what happens a little bit more in England and France. You know, a centralised media decide what's cool. In Germany,
are you cool?
No, not at all. We've never been cool, and we've never really been a media band. You know, we've never been beloved by the media. But in Germany, because you have all these different areas, and it's much sort of more geographically democratic, Germany. I think that's been good for us. And then the other one is that you have to allow me to indulge in national stereotypes.
All right, go for it.
Yeah, only because it's funny. Okay. But I always think the thing about German, okay, it's a stereotype, but the German nature is kind of this terrific contradiction between stuff which is very direct and got a lot of energy and force and direct and precise as well. You know, the language is precise and you make all the best stuff. We know this. But at the same time, every German I've ever met is deeply romantic, terribly, terribly romantic, and all terribly linked to nature. Everything that's to do with nature is terribly important in German culture. And these two things, you know, this kind of very much in your face at the same time as being terribly romantic, it's kind of what we do. So it always kind of had a kind of link in Germany somehow.
Lovely, wasn't too bad actually what you're coming out with. Is Bremen something you remember when you've been here before?
Oh, we only have the sea towns when we have a day off. The rest of the band had a day off here yesterday, but I didn't. But I've had a day off here before. I remember really liking the city centre and the boat in the harbour, and it's nice to walk around.
You said the Germans are straight. I mean, your new album, Winter, is quite straightforward. It's not much schnick-schnack, you know, not much shicky-micky with it. Why did you choose to do it like this?
Because of the previous two, where we did very studio albums, especially Dog and Wolf, and then we kind of repeated it with Wine and Blood, where we layered up a lot of stuff in the studio, and then we gave it to one of the world's greatest mixers, Joe Barresi, to mix in Los Angeles, and he made this amazing sort of huge, sophisticated, expensive sounding, sort of beautiful soundscape, and it is beautiful to listen to. And having done it twice, or 1.5 times, sort of Wine and Blood was a kind of mini album, we thought we'd make the sound of a very loud band in a very small room without any effect at all, the vocals are kind of very dry and everything's here, just as a kind of contrast. It kind of works, I think.
Well, I dreamed that I was running through wilderness of plenty, and I could hear the hunt behind me, getting closer, and I knew that the end was coming, and I wished that it was over. Bring me the snowfall, bring me the cold wind, bring me the winter.
Critics actually say it's one of or the best album ever. Is that now a punch in the face, or is that a compliment?
Well, it's a compliment. People say they like something you do, it's a compliment. But you know.
But after 37 years,
we don't take too much notice of what people say. We've never really taken any notice of what anybody says. One of the questions I always get asked when we first release an album is, what do you think the fans will think of this? And I scratch my head and I think, I have no idea. We've never thought of, when you're making it, you never think about these things. You think, does this feel true? Does it feel good? You know.
You've always been kind of this rebellion band. You've been a really angry man when you were young. Are you still angry?
I'm very angry about some things.
About?
Well, it's a beautiful sunny afternoon in Bremen. I don't want to think about it particularly, but I do get very angry about things that are happening in the world. But I think people said, you know, the songwriting's changed. I think it's important not to write the same song twice. So you know, if we've written a song which expresses a feeling about something that's happening, you know, if 20 years later we don't need to write it again, we might play it, but we wouldn't write the same song again and again.
You said you're never the beloved ones from the media. Is that something that is annoying you, or is it good?
It's probably good, actually. I think it used to annoy me when I was young. You know, when you're young and you start and you want everybody to love you, and then you realise that not everybody's going to love you, whatever you do. And then you realise that popularity is a bit irrelevant. There is this thing when you're a young musician, you're trying to make it. And the definition of making it is making a living from it. And once you've crossed that line, after that, you know, where you are in the charts this week is irrelevant. If you can make a living from what you love, that's the line to cross.
When you're on stage, what is important to you?
I like something to happen in the room. It's partly the way in the way we play, you know, how well we play, how well we put it across. It's partly with in the hands of the audience. The geography of the room makes a lot of difference. There are some places where it's very easy to make something happen. Markthalle in Hamburg is one of my favourite gigs, because when you walk on stage at the Markthalle, there's people there, and there's people there, and there's people there, and there's people there, and wherever you look, there's a face. And that means you kind of have to really be there. There's nowhere to hide. You know, you have to be there, and that tends to bring a good performance, and then the audience feels kind of close to the band.
They shout, give us a fair share, give us justice.
Thank you very, very much. Anything you want to say to your fans?
Hello, everyone.